Welcome to this video. In the previous video, we learned to find mean of group data by direct method. Today, in this video, we will learn to find the mean of the grouped data by assumed mean method. We know that due to vast data, we classify the ungrouped data into grouped data and by constructing the class size, find the mean by direct method. But sometimes the value of xi and fi are so large that it becomes difficult to find their product. Also, it takes more time. So can you make the process of finding the product of fi xi even simpler? Come, let's try to understand it with the help of an example. The length of 60 branches of a tree are measured in centimeters, and the data obtained is represented in the below table. Then, what is the mean of the lengths of the branches? Come, let's see. From the given table, we can say that for each class interval first, we will find the mark that is midpoint xi, for which we will use the class mark formula, where the class size is 40. Here the number of branches represents the frequency of each class interval, that is fi. Since we have to find the mean of the lengths of the branches, which can be calculated by dividing the summation of the product of fi xi by the summation of fi, but it takes more time. So how can you make it simpler? Come, let's see. Here we cannot do anything with fi, but xi can be reduced to a smaller value, and hence our calculation becomes easier. So, from the xi obtained, any mean out of xi can be chosen as the assumed mean, which we represent by a. But to further simplify our calculation, we can take an assumed mean a from xi, which comes somewhere between x1, x2 and xn. Hence, from the table, we choose a equals to 200, where we find the difference di between a and each xi and find the deviation of xi from a, where we multiply each di by its corresponding frequency fi, which gives the product fi di, the sum of whose products are represented in the table below. So can you find the mean of the deviations? Correct. To find the mean of the deviations, the sum of the product of fi di is divided by fi. But you must remember that to find di, we subtracted a from each xi. So, while finding the mean, we have to add a in d bar, which is explained as below, from which the mean of the lengths of the branches is calculated as approximately 202.66 centimeters. So hopefully you must have understood this method of finding the mean. This method of finding the mean is called assumed mean method. In this video, we learned to find the mean of the grouped data by assumed mean method. In the next video, we will see interesting examples based on it.